husband is much more attractive than I am. So my husband is without a doubt the better looking one out of the two of us, by far. I'm sure of this and I feel like everyone else also does. He also has a great personality and so many other great qualities. I feel like I'm completely lacking in comparison, and I felt this way our whole marriage. The only good qualities I have are that I'm funny sometimes and good at video games. But it doesn't feel like it's good enough. And all the reassuring he's done hasn't helped. People with more attractive partners, or less attractive ones, how has this affected your relationship and how have you dealt with it? I was more attractive than my ex. People often told me that I could do better. I have eyes. I knew he was not an attractive guy physically, but to me he was very attractive. He was funny and really smart, and when people told me to get someone better I said I am the one that has to sleep with him. Why do you care? I find him hot, so I'm happy. Later he cheated on me, and I never even considered for a second cheating on him. So really, it doesn't matter who is more attractive. What matters is that your partner treats you right and that you enjoy spending time with him. If he makes you feel loved and sexy, who cares what other people think? Later he cheated on me. Well, that took a sharp turn there. It seems nothing is enough for some people. I am a very large woman. There have been times in my life where I've been straight-sized, but it's been after losing 100+ pounds and I have always gained it back. Met my now husband at my heaviest weight. While I believe all bodies deserve respect, I know that I will be making serious changes soon. Baby due in 7 weeks. And he's always made me feel wonderful. He's also made me feel like whatever I choose is the right path. He doesn't love me because I am fat. He doesn't love me because I could eventually lose weight. He's happy with me as is or changing. I feel blessed. That being said, he looks like a damn model and has the personality of a Buddhist monk. Kind, uplifting, and ever the optimist. He is my exact opposite. Works a physically demanding job and has a sculpted fit body. Actual abs lol. He's 6'2", piercing blue eyes, and this sandy brown wavy hair. No joke, he looks like a Greek god to me and I'm a large potato. I'm in my mid-30s so I don't notice it as much, but I know I used to get the he's with her looks. He doesn't notice or care. It doesn't make me feel great and actually really lowered my self-confidence. But love is love. And if you two love each other I bet he thinks you are gorgeous. Black heart. Considering that I look like a toe, I've had to compensate in other ways. One time I got her laughing so hard she peed herself a little bit. I may look like a toe, but now I got blackmail. Yo, thanks for the silver. I've never been awarded before. I'd what I'm supposed to do, so thank you all. I feel exactly the same way. I still wonder why he chose me. He's a solid 10/10ths in the looks department. A total computer whiz, really good at MTG, loves anime and comics, so I feel like he should have gone for some cute streamer girl instead. Yet he picked the fat college dropout going to trade school who is a 3/10ths with a full face of makeup. I'm absolutely hilarious though. Gotta have one good point, smiley face. Maybe he is just a 10 to you, but more like a 7 to most others. And maybe you're actually a 6 and don't know it, but a 10 to him when those jokes be rollin'. If I had a Corvette, I wouldn't need therapy because I was scared that someone was gonna steal it. I'd be happy that I had one. I know that's not apples to apples, but still. I have a similar problem with my wife. Nothing to do with looks, but I am the provider. She's not some bum who sits around the house doing nothing, and leeching off of me. But she doesn't contribute income. I am fine with that because I make enough for both of us. She will express guilt that she doesn't earn any money. In the beginning, I felt bad that she felt bad, and I assured her that it didn't matter. Over time, it's become less of a big deal to her, but she still mentions it from time to time. And to be perfectly honest with you, at this point, 7 years married, it just annoys the shit out of me. I don't tell her that, since she doesn't bring it up that often. I just reassure her without acting like I'm mad. But I really am sick of hearing about it. You say, All the reassuring he's done hasn't helped. How much reassurance are we talking about? Has it gotten to the point where he repeats the same things that he's said multiple times before? That's annoying as shit for almost any man. You're afraid he might leave you for one reason, but you're setting yourself up for it, via a completely different reason. There's a saying, if you believe something will happen strongly enough, you'll make it happen. When I was younger, that sounded like ridiculous nonsense to me. But as I've gotten older and wiser, I can tell you that it is very true. It's a warning, specifically designed for people who do what you're doing. Maybe. I obviously don't know the extent to which you nag him about this problem you have. Don't be so scared that he'll leave you for physical reasons, that you end up driving him away from you for mental reasons. My BF is going to sleep in a tent with another girl. I'm not okay with it, but he's not okay with that. My BF and I are currently in a long-distance relationship. He's going camping with his family this weekend and he's bringing along a friend he's quite close to. I've never met her before, but my BF tells me about her occasionally. He told me that him and this friend is going to be sharing a tent together, and I'm not comfortable with that because a tent is such a cozy place to be sharing with someone, let alone a gender that he is attracted to. I told him I was uncomfortable with that and he got mad at me and said I don't trust him. It wasn't like I was forbidding her to go. All I said was that I'm not entirely comfortable with them sharing a tent. I now feel like a controlling girlfriend and I hate myself for that. I don't know what to do. I've told him how I felt and he got mad and he said he understands why I might be a little uneasy about it, but yet he is still going ahead with sharing a tent with her. I'm trying to suck it up, but I get so hurt every time I think about it. Should I have not mentioned anything? Am I being a jealous bitch? Usually, and so getting that defensive isn't a great sign. Have there been other signs of him being unfaithful? That being said, I'm gay and my fiancée hangs out with and goes on trips with her friends, some of which are also gay, and it's not an issue. Just because someone is a gender you're so is attracted to doesn't mean you're so wants to hook up with them. What it comes down to is the strength of your relationship/commitment, and your intuition. If this seems shady to you, you could very well be getting played! Exclamation mark. You're not in the wrong here. Him getting defensive is shady. I don't understand why so many girls get into relationships with boys like this. Get a man who will compromise with you. He got upset at you saying something made you uncomfortable. What is he getting upset for? Cause he knows you're right and he may have some attraction or feelings towards this friend. Why does he need to be in the tent with this friend? Like you've said, I wouldn't be mad at her being on the trip but in a tent together. Really? Like, I agree with you, I wouldn't be okay with it, but that's just me. 'Cause the internet tells people it's cool to not set boundaries in relationships, and if you do, it's controlling. It's not about the camping. You expressed insecurity, and it really doesn't matter here if it was justified or not. It's okay to feel jealousy, and it's okay to share your feelings, even negative ones, with your partner. The appropriate response would have been to reassure you, tell you there is no way he would cheat on you, and if you felt that strongly about it, they could take another tent along. You are right that you didn't demand these actions of him, so no, you are not being controlling. But he should have offered them, because he supposedly cares about your feelings. I encourage you to look at this incident to see if it might rather be a part of a pattern of disregarding your feelings. If this is the first time, you could probably give him a pass, and keep an eye out for similar behavior. But if he's reacted similarly in the past, think hard about whether you really want to be with someone who doesn't care about your feelings. Thank you for saying this. I think people are getting hung up on whether it's acceptable to share a tent or not, when the real problem is that he didn't seem to care enough about her feelings to consider other options/comfort her. There's plenty of situational variables that might make it okay/not okay to sleep in the same tent as a close friend like that, but it's definitely something that should always be a conversation with a partner and not just an override of rules/boundaries on either side. I wouldn't necessarily say you're being jealous. I think if you reverse the roles and told him you were going on a camping trip with a male friend and sharing a tent with him, would he be okay to let you stay in the tent with this guy? I am 36, have some issues with house spouse, F29, wants family to see baby. My wife and I had a baby, 3 months, this year. He's had some health complications but it overall doing pretty well. With COVID, it's been complicated as family wants to see the baby. We've let some close family members hold the baby if they're able to social distance. However, with my father-in-law and stepmom-in-law, the best we've done is social distance at the park. He believes COVID is all fake and a giant political conspiracy. They regularly post pictures of themselves at large gatherings with no masks. However, my wife continuously insists that he hold the baby and says a mask will cut 99% of the transmission risk, which isn't quite accurate. I've pushed back hard against this several times. Today, I found out she's having some family stop by and have a little intervention with me to explain how it's okay for my father-in-law to hold the baby. If this wasn't COVID, I'd totally be up for them holding him. But since they're opening flaunting their COVID denialism, it's a deal breaker and my wife's continued insistence is frustrating. Especially since my whole family lives out of state and hasn't been able to see the baby at all. I just don't know what to do. I'm trying to be protective of my baby, but I'm feeling so worn down with having these arguments. Edit 1, thanks for the feedback. Wife agreed to attend couples counseling and we have our first appointment set up. Reached out to the pediatrician and he recommended some precautions that could be taken: clean clothes, good mask, face shield, etc. I'm still hesitant. This is a decision between your wife and you, literally no one else. If your wife is employing family members to come try and gang up on you, that is a communication issue that needs to be handled ASAP through counseling. Putting your newborn at risk for the personal gratification of your father-in-law, that's a no for me, dog. Thanks. Think this is the route we will have to go. I brought up counseling and she seemed open to an appointment. I'd ask her point blank, do you want to be planning a funeral or a birthday party for our child, because this is the path you may be heading down. I've had COVID and as a healthy 20-something I'm miserable months later. Had it in June. 21-year-olds are having heart attacks and strokes. While this may be survivable, the quality of life after isn't always back to 100%. If they're willing to quarantine and get a test prior to seeing the baby, then maybe. Otherwise, put your foot down. Rates are spiking like crazy right now. Hospitals are at 100% capacity in some states. North Dakota had to do an emergency approval for COVID-positive nurses to continue working because they are so short-staffed and have so many sick people. This is a serious matter and not something she should even be considering with a newborn with no immune system. Tell her that him getting to hold your baby right now is not worth your baby getting sick. Newborns especially have no immune system, so they are very vulnerable, much more so than kids or teens. Maybe show her some research about how babies are affected by the virus. It tends to be really severe or pretty mild, but obviously nothing is worth the baby getting sick even if it ends up being mild. CDC did a study on it and around 14% of kids and teens get hospitalized, but 62% of babies were hospitalized. He can hold the baby once the vaccine comes out and we all get it. It shouldn't be too long either. They said early 2021 there should be some vaccines available. If your family hasn't even seen your baby at all, then I definitely think Terry's no reason for her dad to need to hold the baby right now. This is bigger than politics, etc. It's literally just health concerns for a baby that has no immune system. It just stop arguing at this point, and anytime she tries to bring it up, say no. Not a chance. It's your baby just as much as hers, and if you say no, that means no. No always trumps yes, especially when it's somebody's/many people's health at stake.